All right, everybody, welcome back. It's time for a deciding game number 3. Now, because ForLove took that game, as long as this series went 1-1 in the first 2 games, it was guaranteed that the loser of the next series will be knocked out. Both of these teams are secured and they will advance no matter what happens, but that first place is still very important as you do skip directly to the round of 4. This is LGD International versus ForLove. Still a lot at stake in this game 3, but they've all dodged the bullet. ForLove were the ones who dodged it, of course, in that game 2. They take the win there. They force the game 3. They will advance at least in 3rd place. Either DK or LGD China is going home in that next series, so they are fighting for their playoff lives. I'm LD, and I'm joined here today by Fear.
Hey, I'm back to cast the 3rd game, huh?
Yeah, how you holding up there?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm a professional Dota player, man. Of course I'm fine.
You say that. Some of the players I've cast with have said that they actually find casting more tiring than playing, but if you're a captain, I suppose it may be a bit different.
I watch all this stuff anyway, so I'm good.
glad to hear you're still with us. Not needing to retreat to that rocking chair just yet, but maybe later.
After that, I'll just pass out in the middle of the cast.
If I hear you snoring, I'll just mute Skype and keep.
Until then, I'm good.
If you hear me snoring, you do the same.
All right.
So I'm chugging coffee right now. But yeah, this game 3, what are we gonna see? I'm wondering as far as the draft goes. I'm actually looking at the monitors. I think I see an AM ban there. They're not showing the draft this moment on the stream.
They showed it just a little bit. You must have missed it.
Yeah.
Lone Druid, Anti-Mage Drought, as well as Chen, and I don't know the last one. I'm assuming Bat Rider.
Interesting. So that leaves the Enchantress in the pool. It also leaves the Nyx Assassin.
There it is.
There you go. Nyx Assassin snagged by LGD.int. What's the response? They turn to the TA Night Stalker. How are they gonna? Well, I guess maybe a safe lane Night Stalker. Early to say.
It must be. The Night Stalker is either going to be in an aggressive tri-lane position, or he's going to be just in a farming position. Get him, his early levels. More importantly, when you farm up the Night Stalker on the easy lane, you get good items up on him. So if you want to go for, I haven't seen a Chinese team do a farming Night Stalker in a long time.
Yeah, like you said, it could be that aggressive tri-lane. Maybe they'll try to find a good 1v1 matchup for Tutu, but can they find that matchup? It's hard to say. Actually, he placed the TA. He played it in game 1, so never mind that. I'm not sure what they're gonna do. Maybe it is aggressive tri-lane, but it's hard to go aggressive if LGD try to match you with the Nyx as well as Darkseer. This is very strong in the late stage.
They appear not to be afraid of Darkseer at all when they pick TA. We're gonna see another TA versus Darkseer matchup. Almost positive of that. In the mid lane. Nyx, I don't know.
It was a bad matchup for them in that game 1. Like, the G crushed mid. That TA did nothing.
Yeah, but that wasn't a 1v1 matchup. That was a Darkseer and Tornado and Mana Burn.
Yeah.
With a TA.
We could see it if they want to pick
little things like that. Little things like that. When you have such a volatile matchup like that, goes one way or the other really hard. Whoever has that type of support.
Wow, they're going to pick the Shadow Demon here, and that may discourage a Luna pick, potentially, if ForLove were thinking about it. And that Luna Night Stalker combo is something LGD love to run. I don't know if ForLove would want to be that greedy, picking Luna Night Stalker NTA, but hey, Shadow Demon, always a versatile support. Combo him with the Nyx, a lot of burst damage. They have a really strong late game with Darkseer and these supports that scale well with the Shadow Demon and the Nyx. They don't have to carry, but we'll have to see what they go for in the second round. I assume ForLove are just going to be banning out tons of carries.
Yeah.
Maybe like a Keeper of the Light. What do you pick here?
For ForLove, I would keep going with the trend that they're going on. I'm not sure. I'd love to actually see a Magnus, because that's just one of those heroes that seems to be getting ignored in this tournament. It's still a super strong hero, and they're going to pick up a carry, and Magnus is one of the best heroes in the game for countering carries. He's like a Bat Rider with his ultimate. If you have BKB, it doesn't matter. If you have them power, that helps as well. But I didn't even think about that, but that's just traditional Night Stalker bounty hunter.
Face Rush. It's the Face Rush lineup. There was an interesting post-game interview which we got translated for G1 League. It was after IG's first game against LGD at the LAN finals, and Ferrari was going on and on about this Face Rush lineup. That's what IG calls it. That's at least the rough translation.
Yeah.
It really describes the style quite well. Their laning stage, though, can they get through this laning stage and get to that mid game with enough of a start to make those kills happen?
There was one minor nerf to Bounty Hunter, so like the minus armor before it comboed really well, Templar Assassin stacking minus armor, but that was removed completely from track. So that's a small nerf. Doesn't make much of a bit. It doesn't make a big difference at all. Later on, when track is higher level, it actually does help a little bit in late game, but early
It's
game it doesn't matter.
it's what, 5? It used to be 5 armor at level 16, which is a medallion basically, but
Yeah,
yeah, it's a significant nerf, but again, like by the time you get to that point in the game, often it's decided, or how many track kills are you really going to find later on. It's not always a lot, so it's at level 1 -1 armor, not the biggest deal. We'll see. We'll see if it comes into play. I did watch Star Ladder right before I went to bed, or napped before today, and it was who was it? Root picked Bounty Hunter against Navi, and it did seem like the minus armor nerf was hurting them. They weren't finding the quick kills, and then Navi were able to TP and turn fights around. And that was with Janata Max, that was with really early phase boots up on the bounty. But he doesn't have to be that primary DPS dealer. They do have Night Stalker and TA. He's just there to throw the tracks out in this game. And
yeah. I don't feel like
can he get
yeah,
the levels?
I don't feel like the track nerf does really hurts them. It just it hurts TA a little bit because when you start stacking armor, that's when it becomes a problem. But individually, it doesn't really hurt the hero much at all. It's still just it provides the same thing that it always does. If you get kills, items come out of nowhere. It becomes Christmas all of a sudden.
Christmas might come a second time before New Year's. I'm actually looking at this draft for for.love, and I'm a little bit concerned because who do you focus? You don't want to focus Nyx because of Spike Carapace. You got to focus Shadow Demon because otherwise he's disrupting whoever you're focusing. And Darkseer, if you don't focus him, he's surging someone away. For.love are really going to have to just find those quick kills because if they don't, LGD.int can turn these fights around very easily.
Yeah, they need to find a. They actually banned out the Enigma and then the Kunkka because, like you mentioned, they ran this Kunkka Shadow Demon lane once before.
Yeah, they did that with a Shadow Priest as well, and I don't know if they would go for that this game. Is there? Oh, Keep of the Light did get banned. I was gonna say, is he really in the pool again? But he's out. He's out of the mix.
And then Enchantress gets banned out for.love as well. And then just a bunch of top tier supports removed from for LGD.int.
For.love desperately needing some good laning supports. Rubik is banned. I guess the next best one, well, one of the ones they've been favoring, we've seen Leshrac and we've seen Lina. LGD.int are going to take Leshrac. And
they need stunners right now. Right now they don't have any stun, and they need something to hold people in place. And chasing heroes is all and good, but you need something to just pin them down as well, just to get the kills, or else they're going to be on too much slow. I feel like they have right now.
And they only have one way to stop those defensive abilities, and that's silence. But you can only silence one hero. They really need stuns, and they also need. I feel like they need 2 big AoE stunners, but like you said, they also need setup along with that. Maybe the mag. I don't know though. That's the level dependency of that lineup would get. I guess they can't really lane a mag anymore with the Bounty Hunter pick. Yeah,
maybe a Tide Hunter might not be bad for them.
But then it's like a 4-position Tide, and can he get the levels? Wow.
Disruptor. Huh.
This is very. It's almost gimmicky. If you do find those tracks, you can glimpse someone in from really far away. And if they're trying to TP to defend towers, you can glimpse the back. But again, where is their like laning stage presence? Even Disruptor's not that good of a laning support.
Yeah, and I have a feeling if LGD.int's going to do what they always do, and this is starting to look more and more like a solo mid Nyx assassin, or an offlane. Oh no, I'm sorry, Darkseer's mid. This is aggressive tri-lane with Nyx assassin, then solo Luna. I feel like that's how they have to do this, or else their laning phase is going to be too weird.
And they may pull some sentry wards to Pycat. We've seen that. They'll probably pull them regen. Then they go for the Lion. There's a lot of lockdown, so maybe they're not going aggressive. For.love are just going to give Pycat that farm and look to defend their own safe lane. But Lion's not that good in that situation.
Nor is Disruptor, actually.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty positive the laning phase is going to go with LGD.int is most likely. There's the game's already way started, actually.
players out the lanes. Yeah, the stream is a little bit delayed, but hey, it looks pretty, so I like to show it for the viewers out there. Quickly, we'll introduce the players. 2-2 going solo mid as the TA. He had a pretty strong anti-mage performance last game. That one questionable moment where bought the butterfly didn't have buyback, but it worked out in the end. These guys will be moving on. We'll see them again in the playoffs, but the question is, what position will they be in? You, as the offlane bounty hunter, used the Keep of the Light last game, so a little bit of a role switch up with these guys. Banana on the defensive support Lion. 8K going to be farming in the safe lane as Night Stalker. Like you said, not something we see a lot from the Chinese nowadays. And then Hansi as the support disruptor. He bought the Courier.
Yeah, hold on, just gonna make sure my in-game's working. Alright, we're good. There.
Ah, yes,
but anyways,
I forgot about that. Good thing you remembered.
yeah, anyways, moving on. It looks like we're gonna have G soloing mid here with the Nyx Assassin. I thought they were gonna put the Darkseer again and throw the Nyx in the aggressive tri-lane, but they decide not to. They're gonna throw Nyx solo mid versus TA. That's interesting. And then they're gonna run that aggressive tri-lane 1437 on the Shadow Team. Misery playing his Leshrac. They've done this many times in the past with Brax going on the Darkseer and the aggressive tri-lane. And that's going to leave Pycat going solo against the Bounty Hunter, and he was pulled the Sentries, like you mentioned.
I guess the one important thing is that we're going to see Nyx getting an early level 6 then in the tri-lane. And Darkseer, you can put him solo mid, but he can have a big impact, but it really comes down to runes. And whereas with Nyx, you're going to have that early stun leveled up. You're going to have the Vendetta quickly and a little bit more reliable as that mid-game hero. Wow, 2-2. Look at the mana refraction 1 usage, and then he gets mana burnt, and he's out of mana more or less. This is a lot. It's that new refraction just costing too much.
Yeah, but he should still win this lane fairly easily. Once he gets Side Blades as well, he'll have no problem in this lane. Just keep cleaving in the NA. Just Bottle Crow. He'll be fine.
So Pycat was pulled Sentry Wards. Nonetheless, I think Yu's going to get a decent amount of levels out of this lane. And then the offensive tri-lane. What can they... This is... With the Night Stalker being the farmer here, if they just sit back with these supports, it may be hard to actually find kills. He's so tanky, and...
This is why I think they chose to put Darkseer up here. Because you can push the tower. Not just push the tower, you push the creeps into the tower, and then that gives you an opening to go contest the creep pool. Whereas with Nyx, you cannot do that. So I'm assuming that's why they put Darkseer up here instead of Nyx Assassin.
Well, they're not really contesting the pull right now. It is getting farmed up. Let's see if they move over towards it. They are. They have been dewarded. The pulls are happening. They're playing a little bit in the dark. They don't have any vision. They have the top ward, and now a fresh ward placed down. This one's going to be harder to deward for the moment, and let's see how long Misery looks to defend it. They're even thinking about diving this. They're only level 1, though. They really need 2 to be aggressive.
Really what I find amazing is that ForLove still doesn't understand how LGD.int plays. Look at bottom lane. They have a ward that's blocking the pool. It's a clear indication that they didn't think they were going to get tri-laned.
Right, because why would you block it if it's just Luna? She's not going to pull.
Yeah. Exactly. So I'm really surprised that they're still caught off guard about the strategy that LGD.int is going to be using.
Maybe they just, I don't know, maybe they just expected LGD to change it up, but, you know, they have shown no indications of doing so yet. Not sure why they would expect it. 2-2 goes bottom, gets the illusion rune. And with the bottle up now, the mana burn's annoying, but he'll have enough mana for refraction. And the middle lane is even so far, but should start to go more and more, I think, in 2-2's favor as he levels up here.
Yeah, it will.
Well,
because mana burn, the amount he burns is less than he steals, actually, so it hurts him a little more in that regard, but he doesn't use the mana as much as TA needs the mana to harass and last it.
They really want to backstab this, but it's just how do you jump this? It's very difficult unless the supports get caught out. The courier might get caught. Oh,
it's a slap to the face.
Yeah, a little smack around there. It'll be okay. They're still diving. They've got creeps tanking the tower, but you got to initiate on Hansi, I think. Night Stalker's not really the easiest hero to kill here, but he does get Split Earth. Maybe they can bring him down with Ion Shell. Wow, they're actually going to kill him off. That high armor isn't going to help you against magic damage, but the counter initiation from Lion. They may lose 2. Misery's on the run. Leshrac a little bit faster, but gets hexed. 1 more auto attack. 2 for 1. They get the first blood. But that's the nice thing about having that Night Stalker as the farmers. Yes, he dies, but he takes longer to bring down. And by going in on him, they allow the Disruptor and the Lion to get a lot of levels. They're level 3 both, and both have boots now as well.
Yeah, and that's all. These two supports in particular, they need level 3 before they have an impact in this lane. So that dive actually just helped them get the levels that they needed. And it's going to be a lot harder to do that again. Now that he has Glimpse at level 2, he's got the kinetic field up and the Thunderstrike. And between level 1 Impale and level 2 Impale, it's a big difference in a tri-lane. Now that they have that up, it's going to be a lot easier for them to defend their Night Stalker.
And the camp got dewarded again, so we can see more pulls and no boots on Misery. He's getting close to them though. 1437, a bit. Oh, he's like 300 gold away. So actually, Hansi hasn't opted for any yet. He might buy an extra set of sentries or observers here. And mid lane then, G already up to level 5 is starting to fall a little bit behind in farm, but not a major deal. And now you can see Blosh traded. It gets easier and easier for Tutu to trade effectively here.
Yeah. He has the region in the bottle, so that's definitely he's going to do whatever he can to make trades and harass, and then just pop that.
And then even the safe lane, the Luna's not even dramatically out farming bounty. I'm a little concerned about LGD right now. I think giving up those 2 kills, giving the supports the early farm and levels, it's putting them in a tenuous position.
Yeah, I think bounty though, he's having to spend a lot of money on consumables, so I think he just ferried out a couple more to him right now.
You're right. Yeah, he hasn't been spending that gold purely on items.
So he's been getting good CS, but Luna hasn't had to spend any on consumables, so he's still leading the farm war by quite a bit.
And I suppose one good piece is, well, can they find more kills top? They're thinking about going in here. They really want to go in on this, but it's just they're not finding the openings. ForLove's positioning has been pretty solid in this tri-lane, and that's essential against that Disruption Split Earth combo. If you get caught on the supports, you're dead, but they're not really getting caught.
Yeah, I mean, right now, if they put they really, at this point in the game, they wish they put Darkseer mid, but it's pretty obvious what they want. Oh, geez, in a little bit of trouble. Is he going to be able to get away from it? He might die here.
2 wand charges, that's not enough. There's another trap, but it's not ready yet. Oh, he just had mana for it, but not able. If he got that kill, that would have been really bad. G's going to guess top rune. We could see a trap dropped here by Tutu, and if G goes in for this and there's not a rune there, oh, jeez. Would have died. Would have died. Even detonates the trap, just in rage, I think.
Lucky.
If he didn't get that rune, he was dead.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure Tutu had enough for 2 traps and should be able to chase him down then.
Yeah, he did.
They can't go on G now.
They have a track available, so they're gonna wait for the haste and then probably. Oh no, just gonna scare him.
Well, that really doesn't work when the lane's pushed in the tower. It's pretty obvious he's missing from bottom.
Yeah, and this Luna is just has total free farm now.
So classic LGD.int. If your one lane's not working, smoke up and go gank another lane.
Yeah.
I say classic. I mean, it's what they do all the time. Whether it's the double jungle or the offensive tri-lane, they always are smoke ganking in the early game.
I mean, their one strength as a team, well, they have a lot of strengths, but one of the most notable strengths is, oh, they're going on mid here, yeah.
Gee, he's got Spike Carapace, he's got the Impale, but he's Hex. Can he get it off? Now he's stunned. That's a 3-hero track kill, and ForLove clean him up. And where's the trade? It's just Pycat farming because the top lane, they're sitting defensively at their tower, and they're not stopping Night Stalker from farming here.
No, they're trying now.
They are, but there's going to be a kinetic field, and even with the split earth, I don't know. Glimpsing one back. 8k is low. 8k is very, very low, but that once he gets the levels, that Disruptor is really strong defensively.
Yeah, that glimpse, he chose the perfect target, getting Brax back, and they're gonna counter go here.
Oh, I think he wanted to impale both there, but 1437, the only one caught. They get the kill. Boy, you'd love these to be track kills, but this is looking better and better. Bottom lane, though, the counter initiation, as we see you getting picked off. So they get something, but they're not shutting down the TA, and that's a concern for me.
Yeah, he's gonna get this tower too, actually. Should he? No, they got TPs. They're really good about carrying TPs, actually. LGD. It's only 8 minutes in. He wasn't doing so well on that top lane, but he makes sure he has a TP scroll on all of their heroes to defend these towers.
They'll walk the plank to defend a tier 1. There's just they won't give any ground for free, but they are forced to deny it. They do get the deny, but nonetheless, map control slipping a little bit, and map control. These towers are really important because they're up against Bounty, Night Stalker, TA. If they lose too many towers and they fall behind, that's just going to be tons of free track kills all over the map.
Oh, this is...
This is trouble for Misery. He's tracked. He should drop here, but 2-2 would be the trade. Misery jumps down to the low ground. That's a really nice spot. Oh, he almost gets away. Bounty might pay. Double for Pycat. Buyback.
I really don't like the skill build from Bounty. Like, he had no points in Shuriken Toss. What you can do when they're setting up the Disruption stun combo is you can throw a Shuriken on Leshrac and make him miss it. That would have been really useful there.
Yeah,
Will the Glimpse come? Are they going to do it?
Yeah,
there it is.
Yeah, there's the Glimpse, then the Impale, but it's actually too late because the Spike Carapace is up. Now he's surged away. As we talked about, very strong defensively is this squad, and there's an Eclipse, but Refraction and Night Stalker tanking it. Not really what you're hoping for. G coming in with the Vendetta, picking off 8K. G is really finding openings for LGD after that tri-lane struggles. And the 5-man group up, even after the tri-lane goes poorly, they're still doing it.
And Luna has max aura. They all have a lot of bonus damage right now, and they're looking to use it to take down buildings.
Wow.
They need to make this work, or else track's going to be too much for them to deal with.
And they're gonna find track kills. That's just inevitable with Shadow Demon and Leshrac being so squishy. If they don't make this work. Can they, though? That's the question. Bounty's gotta get out of there. He'll be okay.
Yeah, we're going to have a slugfest mid until this tower goes down or some blood is shed.
This is... this reminds me a lot of the game we saw yesterday with DK versus LGD, and I think it was actually Game 3. They grouped up really early against Burning's Low Druid. The one thing was he was farming and not really helping his team, but DK, they were defending 4v5. A little bit harder for them to defend this tower, but it's LGD not having a good start and then just choosing to get aggressive anyway. And group up as 5 and try and make it up that way.
Yeah, they have a lot of heroes that can fight, and the only reason they do this is simply all the heroes have 38 bonus damage. Take advantage of that by being 5 heroes, that adds up a lot. If you start getting some stuns off where they have a lot of stunners and get some auto attacks in, either be towers or heroes, they die really fast.
Luna, with that max aura, it's not quite where she peaks, but this is where your team is really going to hit a lot harder. Later on, the TA, the Bounty, and the Night Stalker, even with the nerfs to track, they're just going to melt these supports, so a good time to keep on going. There's no mech on Brax, but they're fighting anyway. They don't have Edict either, but it's hard for anyone to go in. You really want Night Stalker to go in first, but he's not here. He's top lane. He's got a TP. Surgeon on G. Tower will fall. Stun misses you. And that was a lot of damage. TA is going to drop. Wow, a lot of heroes get stunned with that Lion, but in the end, just not sufficient, and now he's trying to run away. Brax looking to bring him down with the Ion Shell. They got another kill. The group up and push seems to be working.
Yeah, whenever you play against a Bounty Hunter, I found the most useful way to deal with it is don't allow them to get the pickoffs. Either push against them or group up in one way or another, and pick a lot of heroes that are hard to kill, and just stay together. And that's exactly what they're doing. They don't have heroes that are hard to kill, but they're just doing more damage than them. So there's other teams just dying first.
It's amazing because this is with the bad start. It just shows you how strong the 5-man is to not even be forced into a defensive posture. It's that Luna getting the early levels in farm. Sure, Bounty got some as well, but Bounty's not going to offer you the same thing in these 5v5 clashes. And let's see if they can find the openings. If they have 1 or 2 good team fights, this completely turns on its head, but right now they're just not finding them. G surges in. They do have an important tool against G, which is that Hex. Doesn't do damage, so Lion won't get stunned, but can prevent him from getting in range.
Yeah. Right now they don't have the heroes that can really... This is why I kind of wanted to see like the Tide or something. Oh, Glimpse used.
Yeah, Glimpse on Brax. Simultaneously, they're trying to kill off G top lane. G might drop 2. That's 1 dead. No, G's okay, actually. They forced he forced both of them back in the end, but they were diving him for a moment there. The kill bottom, it wasn't a track kill, but that's going to force LGD in back for the moment, which means they're not grouped up as 5. They're not pushing right now. And 2-2, still actually not that close to the blink. I thought it would be very quick, but went for the completed magic wand, went for all the cheap items, even as a set of tangos, and now we're going to see him try and farm that up, I think.
Yeah, if they can push heroes off their towers, Disruptor can easily just send 1 back into the fight and get an easy pick off. But the problem they're having right now is they're not forcing them off towers very much because they just stay together and they just keep on that tower until it's dead.
They only have the one tool that really makes you run, and that's Static Storm, but you know, if you drop the Kinetic Field and Static Storm first, then you don't have it to hold the hero in place when you glimpse the back in, and they're not, like you said, they're just not finding those openings, whatever the reason is. Still a very even game. No, never mind. Actually, after that tower dropped, and it was very even like 2 minutes ago, but now it's a 2,000 gold lead for LGD. And what can they turn the gold into? It looks like the early mech is coming out for Brax. The really early drums, Reign of Aquila. Pycat is going for the Zhou build, just rushing all the cheap, cost-effective items. Not rushing the BKB, which sometimes he'll do, but when you're having this kind of a game, you just need every little bit now. You can't afford to wait for that bigger item.
Yeah, their supports are running out to just ward right now, if nothing else. They couldn't have expected them to still be down here. They've been doing the same trend of running together as 5, taking towers, so I guess they're just warding up a little bit down here while they have the chance. I'm just going to forfeit that top tower.
I compared this to the DK game, but the difference is that DK was doing a lot more counter-pushing, and that's because they had a better lineup for it. They had the Lone Druid, I think they had a Keeper of the Light as well. We don't see that from ForLove. They're very weak at pushing quickly. Maybe when TA gets a bunch of items, but until then, they're just giving up towers, and it's for free. And this is a big map control item. G gets a Blink Dagger.
Oh, wow. Picks up a Blink, huh? Yeah, that's going to allow them just to dive them. If he lines up a nice Blink plus double stun, they should win every team fight. This is why I kind of wanted to see the Tide Hunter, for example.
Yeah, it fills a similar role.
Fight.
He's Iron Shield, and he can drop that Spike Carapace before he blinks in, so then all you can do is Hex him. That's it. If you use any other ability, you're in a lot of trouble, because then they follow up. And they're sieging this out, and waiting in the wings is 2-2. He doesn't have his blink yet. 8k, Ogre Club, Haste Rune. Could maybe find an opening. He's got to have a clutch silence here, but they're just giving up the tier 2. I think they're doing that same thing where they sit a little bit far up, thinking about a deny, but they give it up in the end anyway.
Have they seen the Blink Dagger yet? I'm not so sure they've seen that.
I'm not sure either. There was a lot of... There's no Hill Ward at this point. It got dewarded. Oh, but that was actually LGD's ward, I think, so...
Alright,
yeah, I
well...
don't think they saw... Now they will, because he's going mid.
Quite honestly, they can't afford to keep doing this. They can't just keep giving towers away because they can't fight. And if they keep doing this, this game is going to spiral way out of control, and they're going to find themselves with a racks down at 20 minutes. Oh, excuse me.
Maybe they're waiting for that big item. There's an Ogre Club up on a Night Stalker, but the BKB's still a while away. TA...
Yeah, they can't wait for that.
Yeah, TA, maybe you don't even go for the Blink. Maybe you just go straight for a BKB as well, because there's a Luna, and, I mean, there's Demonic Purge to go through it, but still, it's a Luna, and it's a lot of magic damage from the Nyx, and a lot of stuns. It feels like you just need that BKB to fight.
What they need to do is they need to start using their face rush lineup and start face rushing and hoping for the best on these team fights.
This is tail running away lineup, not face rush.
Second time. Yeah.
Their faces are rushing directly away from LGD.
Second time they pick an aggressive strategy. Oh, they're actually gonna get a pick off and it's a glimpse again.
Yeah, it's like you said. If they back off, you pick one hero off with the glimpse, and the problem is they're not doing it quite enough. I think they need more than just one of these like every 2 towers. That's not gonna cut it, but it is the potential to just find those easy kills if LGD aren't really careful about how they retreat.
Yeah, that's all they can get right now, just some glimpse kills. And,
well, it's still... Gold-wise, it is a big lead. But again, Track can really turn that around. Most of that is tower gold favoring LGD, and we'll see, but they are going to get those core items out. The Blink Dagger's been up, the mech now comes out, now the BKB for Luna. And once they get that BKB for Luna, they're going to go for all the outer tier 2s, then they go for Rosh. At some point, you have to stand your ground. When is that point for ForLove? We're waiting to find out.
I think it needs to be this bottom tier 2 here. If not, it needs to be the middle one.
And if not that, then you're not defending anything. You're just waiting. You're waiting.
If you don't do that, you're just waiting to lose.
And here comes.
So I want to see some action right now from them. Yeah.
The
Bounty Hunter's low on mana. How is they gonna fight this?
There's no Static Storm either. They're gonna lose this. They're not in position. They're not prepared. And Night Stalker's also farming away top. I think they're really just waiting for the BKB on him and possibly one on 2-2. It's still not clear what he's going for. Blink in to the Surge, into Banana. Oh boy. That easy initiation, and you just can't turn and fight it. If you do, you're going to get stunned by the Carapace. Now they may even go... They're going to force some TPs here at the very least.
Yeah, they're going to force some TPs, do some damage here. And if they... Oh, they're going to try to initiate too.
G's jumping in again. The Static Storm is here. It does catch G. G might fall. Eclipse is good, but AK's tanking most of it. Hansi will drop. Now the silence from Pycat, but the damage already done. TA disrupted. They just want to get the hell out. Stun thrown out just to slow down the help secure the retreat. And this is a mistake from 8K, I think, going a little too far in. Wow, good fight for LGD. Sure, G dies, but now Static Storm is down. He buys back, and without the Static Storm, ForLove just doesn't have a team fight.
Yeah, they really don't. Like, their lineup is not meant for team fight, but they just can't find any gank opportunities because they're just 5-manning.
It really strikes at the heart of what ForLove's lineup is weak at, and now it's easy to question this. You know, is the Bounty Hunter going to be able to have that impact they're hoping for? It is weak to 5-man in general. You had to know what they were going to do. They weren't really prepared for it. We go back to the early Observer wards, blocking the pole camp. There were never going to be pulls happening in this game. Here comes the smoke.
In fact, there's no BKB up on him yet, so if they do manage to get it... Oh, that was a little revealing.
That was...
The glimpse.
Oh, he's got
BKB
the
just picked up on chicken.
It was delivered while and then he got pulled back in. So Pygat says, "Thank you, sir, for bringing me back into the fight as soon as I have my BKB." Night Stalker, however, does not have his, and he'll drop. Most unfortunate glimpse timing ever.
Yeah.
He's got to be kicking himself.
I would have liked to see the Lion lead with the Hex anyway, because they were still smoked, but...
They tried to, but they weren't prepared for it properly. There you go, though. They find Misery. That would be a... Whoa!
Oh!
Vacuum
Man!
into... Wow! Vacuum into 4-hero impale.
If there's any LG and team play clips, that's going to be on there for sure.
Yeah. Let's get some... Incredible. You need some dubstep. You need the rewind, the screen shake. Wow.
Jesus. They got that into the Impale and then the Splitter right after. And what was it, 4 heroes?
It was 4. It was all 4 that were left, because the Night Stalker was already dead. Unbelievable. That is something they excel at, and it's one of the nice things about seeing a team playing on a LAN environment. Like, that sort of thing much harder to execute, I think, when you're dealing with well, I think they even have higher pings, but, you know, just having that communication advantage and practicing on LAN together. They get racks, and they get it early, 20 minutes in.
Yeah, I think I just called that. If they don't start defending these towers, they're going to lose their racks at 20 minutes. And it's gone.
You could have predicted the manner of that push. Could have predicted the vacuum into 4-hero impale, but
no.
You can expect this from LGD. It's what they do. It's their bread and butter. It wasn't taken away by ForLove. They tried to counter it with a strategy that just doesn't have much margin for error. If you have too many mistakes, you're not going to get those core items up, and you need items to fight as ForLove. You don't have a team fight lineup. You have a lineup that can fight as a team with the items, the BKBs, maybe the really early blink on Tutu, but at this point, they're still trying to farm those items, and they're doing it now with less farm at their disposal, being that lane of Rex down.
I honestly feel like this is not ForLove's playstyle. They've tried this game 1, they went back to what they know, game 2, worked out for them, and they're trying it again game 3. I'm not feeling like they really know what they're doing when they play super aggressive. Like, they don't practice this, I don't think.
When you start with Night Stalker TA Bounty, it's your whole strategy is just out there on the table. There's nothing, there's no plan B, because there's only one way to play that lineup, basically.
In trouble here. He's got the Ion Shell on him. Oh! Pick out the Ion Shell?
Oh, Tutu's still alive. The Ion Shell ends. They turn that one around. That was a 5-hero track kill, if I don't say so myself.
Yeah, only 1 level in track, though, right now, so
yeah,
it's not the big deal.
It's only 50 gold a hero. Hey, it adds up, but, you know, it'd be a lot worse if he's level 11. And
yeah.
The gold graph shows it. It only stops the growth for LGD.int.
You can count all the track kills done in this game on one hand.
Jeez, and they haven't even gone for the next level, which is to get that Rosh and then have the Aegis at your disposal. Really? Soul Booster up on Misery? Wow, that's the tower gold talking right there.
Yeah, when your supports get these type of items at this time, it's usually always just tower gold advantage.
And this counters. This is another reason that the pushing lineups really counter the ganking. If you don't have a good start, the supports get too tanky, and you can't insta-kill them now. You can't KO them. 1437's got a Ghost Scepter, another hero that you just can't really focus, but you also can't ignore, because then he's disrupting Luna, he's disrupting anyone and turning the fights around. And also a pipe up on Brax. They have really everything they need to go high ground here.
Yeah, they didn't, like, all the towers they did get were given to them for free, basically. So they didn't lose any gold for getting towers. They just got free gold everywhere, and now they're just using all that gold to just pretty much just finish the game here, unless they pull something out.
Hansi's looking for that glimpse when they walk back down, but he's spotted. 1437 sniffs him out. Spidey senses tingling.
Yeah. Like, what do you do in the situation of ForLove right now? You need to man up and fight.
You can't
right?
you can't counter push because you don't have the AM, you don't have the lone druid, you don't have anyone who pushes quickly. You also have to defend mid. You're a fighty lineup, but you can't fight. It's just, I want to say no options unless LGD screw up.
What they need to do is they need to start playing. Oh, there's a whiffs.
And that's it. That's their big team fight ult down the drain. Now vacuum into an eclipse. There are some creeps here to tank, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Pycat is just really bull rushing them, just charging through. The face rush lineup is getting face rushed, and they're looking to lose this Rax most likely. Buyback's got to come out if they have them. They don't. This could be it for ForLove. They still advance no matter what happens here, but it could be his third place in this group.
And a valuable lesson.
Any proverbs, any nuggets of wisdom for all the youngins out there?
If you want to play Russian Dota, you gotta play Russian Dota.
And on that note, we see 2 lanes of X-Full, and on that note, it will be LGD International. I gotta say, I feel like I'm still not convinced because I don't think teams are respecting that they just play this one style very consistently. And like you said, ForLove also playing a style that doesn't really work for them. LGD, don't get me wrong, they played well, but I would like to see a team like do what DK did. Just, you know what they're going to do. Pick a lineup that's better at dealing with it, that has more margin for error. They didn't do that, and they pay. They did play very well, though. Especially the coordination in fights, the vacuum into a pale. That's really one of the big strengths of this team, as you mentioned.
Absolutely. They definitely had better 5 vs 5, and once they allowed them to get 5 vs 5, they needed to take the fights. Like, I don't know what ForLove was waiting for, but they basically just threw this game away. This is, you know, he's like, here's a free game. Basically what I saw this game.
Yeah, and it all really begins with that draft. You open with TA, or you open with Night Stalker, fine, but you open with both and then you pick a bounty. Where's the ace up your sleeve? There's now 6 bans to deal with you the rest of the way, and that's what we saw. Banning the Twin-Headed Dragon and the Keeper of the Light, those were the heroes they really needed, especially the Keeper of the Light. They could have gotten that instead of the Bounty Hunter, and then still have had a backup plan if the ganking didn't work and been able to transition a little bit better into the late game. LGD might have been able to push them in, but it would have been a lot harder than this game was.
Yeah, it would have. Like, the one weakness I see in this team is that they need a new TA player, because it's not that he's bad at it, it's just the way they play this, 2-2 plays their hard carry, right?
Yeah, he does. He played
TA
the AM.
is not a hard carry. He creates space for hard carries. That's what TA does. He creates space.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it suits him, to be honest, either. He seems like he's more intent on farming, and this wasn't a game where you could farm. They didn't have a lineup for it either.
He's not a hero you farm with either.
Yeah. I don't think
and if you're gonna play this, 2 games in a row they picked a TA. They have this lineup. When they have a TA, like, we're gonna play aggressive because he's our TA player. I guess you can cast this if you want people dying.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They're dead. That's game. That's game. It's time for ForLove, and they know it. They call GG.
He's playing this TA every game, and they're playing super aggressive, but they play it like he's playing like an anti-mage. And that's not good.
Even when Orange, Mushi loves to farm on his TA more than most, but even when Orange play Mushi TA, he still does a lot more ganky than what we saw this game. He still focuses more on map control, and that's a TA player who's much more farming oriented than most, but maybe that wasn't the plan. Maybe they wanted to get aggressive and they just said, oh, this isn't the right opening, this isn't the right opening. But at some point you just have to say, F it, this is the time we have to go. Like you were saying, you just gotta fight, and they never did.
Exactly. It's not their play style. So they need to either put someone else on this TA and just have TA create space for a carry to farm, which is what most teams do, or they need to just man up and start taking fights and 5-manning with the lineups they have, or else it's never going to work out for them.
Well, unfortunately for ForLove, they lose this game. The good news for them and for anybody who's a fan of this team is they do advance. They may be 3rd place, though. If they do, I think they face the 2nd place team from the other group, and that's a group with IG and MUFC. as well as some dark horse teams. MUFC has looked very strong as of late, and obviously IG likely to be the favorites for first place. But if they somehow don't finish first and you're playing them as your first round playoff match, you are going to be kicking yourself about this game. So
Yeah.
on that note, that wraps it up for this series. Any closing thoughts? Anything you want to shout out before we wrap it up?
I think I covered just about everything about this game, at least.
Well, since you're being modest, then guys, Fear, thank you very much for joining me. If you guys enjoyed his casting, I know you stream your pubs a lot as well. You can check him out. Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch are all /Fear Dota, I believe.
Actually, my Twitch is Fear Darkness, but if you're on my Twitter, I just announce that there anyways, so
Yeah,
it's not hard to find my stream.
If you want to watch him, I'm sure you guys can figure out the rest. Fear, thank you very much for joining me. Guys, that does wrap it up for game number 3. We do have a little bit of a break here, but when we come back, we actually have something planned for the intermission. It's LGD China versus DK, and the nice thing about the way this series turned out is this match really, really matters because the loser of the next match is going to be eliminated. They won't advance to the playoffs. And before we get to that match, we actually have a blast from the past. Actually, from the G1 League, these two teams played an epic game. We'll be showing that replay, or the VOD rather, during the intermission. We may not be able to watch the whole game because it was a really freaking long game, but we'll catch the end, which was the most exciting part, and that should hype everything up going into this next series. So Fear, thanks again for joining me. And guys, stay tuned. We'll have more action coming up soon.